What is up, casters? Welcome back to MetaZoo News, the podcast, episode 11. I'm your host, Eric, otherwise known as MetaShab, and we have joining us today the always lovely
Mrs. MetaZoo News, also known as Angela or Metacarpals online.
And casters, I know it has been a long time since my lovely voice has graced your ears, but that is coming to an end today as we release our 11th episode, a very special episode. That would be our 2025 roundup. So, as you all know, if you have listened to us in the past, I usually go through the news in the first segment and then hit up a community roundup in the second segment. But today, we are just going to be going down memory lane and talking about everything that not only we have set forth to accomplish, but also what MetaZoo has done in their very first year.
We have had an awesome 2025 year, and it is going to be such a lovely time recapping back our time this year and to see what we can look forward to in the future. So I hope you enjoy this upcoming section.
All right, casters. So you may not know this, but MetaZoo News, if there was ever a MetaZoo trivia game at a bar, which we all go to the MetaZoo bars in our local cities, but if there ever was a trivia question about when MetaZoo News was founded, you will know the answer now. It was on January the 15th of 2025. So our 1-year anniversary is just a few weeks away. We actually started out as a really ugly website, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think the Wayback Machine captured an image of the first version of the website, but let me assure you, it was hard on the eyes, and we've gotten a lot of good constructive feedback across the year. So if you were an early supporter, you will know that the website has gone through a lot of changes. But one thing definitely has stayed the same, and that is our drive to bring news and interviews and content from all around the world right to your eyes on MetaZooNews.com. And we started that off with our very first interview on MetaZoo News, which was with Nick, Strength, and Pokemon. Shout out to Nick. Thank you so much for agreeing to be the very first person interviewed by MetaZoo News. And I think that it was really pertinent at the time, at least, because Nick was one of the very few people who was covering MetaZoo throughout the bankruptcy. And if you are an old Zoo fan, which I know most of you are, you will know that it was him and Termintic, basically, that were making videos and, drudging through bankruptcy documents and everything. So shout out to you, Nick. I really appreciate you helping propel MetaZoo News as our very first interviewer. Other people that we interviewed throughout this past year have been household MetaZoo names, such as MetaZoo Crew. Shout out to you, my friend. We have Pierre. We did an artist spotlight with him, along with maybe the greatest MetaZoo artist of all time, Kelsey Ticino. We also did interviews in person with Termintic. We interviewed Charlie twice in person. We also got to talk and meet with Ben MetaZoo from Casters Cup Online at the time. We also interviewed some players from the Houston tournament from way back when as well, which was MetaZoo Wizard and MetaZoo May. We also got to meet people like Jet, Maniac, Zealous, and we all had great interviews with them. And in 2026, folks, I can almost assure you of this. There will be an interview that you will not want to miss, especially if you are an old Zoo fan. So I can't say more than that, but you have that to look forward to, a bombshell interview, if you will, in 2026 with MetaZoo News. We also got to feature 2 different members of the community as our analysts on MetaZooNews.com. That was the Masked Caster for gameplay analysis, and more recently, MacDeezy TCG. Shout out to you, my friend. You are awesome. Mac Deasy wrote some great articles and has helped a lot behind the scenes. So shout out to you, man. I really appreciate you very much. And thank you for helping make MetaZoo News what it is today. A lot more in the future will come from Mac Deasy, I have no doubt.
Love him and his daughter. They also started a podcast, but I just love that he's getting the next generation into MetaZoo and cryptids as well.
And that is definitely something that has to happen if we want MetaZoo to survive and thrive throughout this last decade. So, other things that we have done on MetaZoo News, we featured a lot of fan art early on. Before we had a bunch of content to go through every week. We featured artists such as Tat Fink, Anexus, Lucas Dimension, Cardboard and Bruise, Jonah Fatone, The Artist Row, It's Sir Frogman, and others, all on MetaZooNews.com. It's still there under the community tab if you are interested in looking at some old school MetaZoo art.
A special person we'd also like to shout out is Spooky Babe. Spooky Babe has done lots of great art for MetaZoo, specifically at conventions. If you've been there, she has her stickers that came out for Tides and Secret Shadows. So shout outs to you, Spooky Babe. You're awesome.
And we did a great giveaway with her, and I'm sure that we will do more as the year goes on in 2026. But yeah, great shout out. Thank you, Spooky Babe, for being amazing. Other things that we did, we created the MetaZoo News Archive project and now host the only complete card database in the world for MetaZoo TCG. And with that, when I revamped the card database, I also put forth a big effort to code and create the now only fully complete MetaZoo deck builder, and that is on MetaZooNews.com. We made the open beta, made an announcement for it, but I never got to talk about it on a podcast. But that deck builder is awesome. I know it's not super high quality AAA, but that's because you got me, a part-time non-professional coder who put this together on weekends and after work. So while it doesn't have necessarily the polish of a AAA team, I'm really proud of it. We have, I think now, over 60 decks that are published on there. So if you are interested at all, we do feature the decks from all of the different tournament champions that we have. And it's a great place to go and make some decks. You can take a look at advanced analytics that I've built into it once you create the deck. And we'll go over some future features near the end of the show, but we're very proud of that as well. And one of the biggest things that I know I personally am thankful for is we got to meet a lot of you, our listeners, at different collecticons throughout the country. And I just want to say thank you to MetaZoo first and foremost for having us. It was nothing but a pleasure and an honor to represent the company at different collecticons. It has truly been one of the most fun experiences of my life, and we really appreciate it. We did go to almost all of them. We didn't go to all of them, but almost all of them. Not for lack of trying, at least. So we just want to shout out some of the people that we met over the year, starting off with the launch of MetaZoo Trading Card Game in 2025 at the end of March in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. We got to meet the GQL crew. We got to meet Charlie and Termintic there, and we had a really fun time. Though I will say this, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if we don't go back to Fort Lauderdale, just because of the insane traffic that surrounded that convention.
We left about an hour in advance to make it at opening VIP time, and I was stuck with our rental car in an hour's traffic, and there was no parking. We couldn't figure it out, but we persevered. and got it together. And actually, one of the highlight moments was when we walked in, we set up, and immediately Slow Brody recognized
My man.
us, and it completely changed the environment. It was that sense of community immediately being built. And coming from not a TCG background, this completely changed the game for me.
Yeah, it was truly a magical time, that Miami show, when we got to see so many people from the community. A lot of you showed out, and shout outs to you for coming out to see the relaunch of the game that we all love. So that was an amazing experience. Termintic was working the wheel and got us some great swag. I think we got a Mothman keychain out of that too. Bring those back, GQL.
And it was lovely initially meeting artists that were there. And for Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Jet and Lily were there, some artists that were from the original MetaZoo as well. So it was lovely getting to meet them and seeing their cards from Old Zoo and progressing to the MetaZoo version cards.
And honestly, I know this is a bit off topic, but we were talking with Seb and some of the other artists, and we had some Old Zoo cards, and we showed it to them, and we were like, man, it's crazy how much, art changes and improves over time. And if you hold two of the same cards, one Old Zoo card and one New Zoo card up next to each other, I just think with, the time and experience that you gain as an artist working through different mediums and for different projects, it's just really cool to see the evolution of an artist's work in MetaZoo.
Kind of a foreshadow, but in San Antonio Collecticon, I happened to find our Old Zoo card, which is, I'm going to mispronounce it, but I think it's Polybius. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. But Seb did the MetaZoo original card, and then in Tides, I believe, it is a 3-star alt. And it was so amazing to, one, get both cards signed by the artist, but two, see the progression and seeing, what has been done and the advancements of the textured card.
Yeah, I think the textured cards really was a huge improvement in New Zoo. And look, I totally get that a lot of you really do enjoy the Old Zoo artwork, and it drew me in too. I love the Old Zoo artwork. I have so much nostalgia for it. But I think that when you, and we've seen this in the past year, when you take the cap off of an artist and say, we're not constraining you to one specific style, do what you do best, I think that will always produce the best kind of art. And I am very thankful that a lot of the artists do still use the old style. But I am even more thankful that we have so many new artists from around the world that are creating depictions of legends and myths that are meaningful to them and their part of the world. It's not just Cryptid Nation anymore. It's Cryptid World. And I think that's an excellent direction for MetaZoo to take and go into. But that was a little bit, of a
side quest.
Yeah, a little side quest there. Getting back to the Collecticons in Houston, we got to meet the members of the Smoke Squad. And truthfully, some of these people are really good close friends now. And I personally consider Ben MetaZoo one of my best MetaZoo friends that I have made just in general. Such a genuine, nice guy. Shout out to you, Ben, if you're listening to this. We really love and appreciate you, man. Yeah, we got to meet members of the Smoke Squad, including also Doom, who worked a bunch of shows with us too. And then MetaZoo Wizard, otherwise known as Jacob, MetaZoo May,
otherwise known as my bestie Alicia,
and Raph. Shout out to all of you Smoke Squad members. You are amazing. It was lovely to meet you in Houston. And that was also when we had the very first community organized MetaZoo tournament just in general. Was there in Houston. So that was put on by the Casters Cup Online, which is still an active community that you should join on Discord if you haven't already.
And shout outs to Dom for helping with the tournament and John from Immortal Workshops. I also want to say that I competed in that tournament and I lost to Jacob, who ended up coming in second place at that tournament. So I feel like I was snubbed, but it's okay. I know Jacob's a great player.
Yeah, he was super nice and very accommodating.
That was actually truly one of my first experiences deep into the TCG trading card game, playing a game. And it was really nice that Jacob was able to walk me through the competition rules initially and how different cards were being played when I was very much a new player. And it's one of those things that, to me, solidified that this community is what I wanted to be a part of. It was just so wonderful to not be made feel bad for not understanding something. Like, he taught me how to play the game as we were playing, and he never once made me feel bad about not understanding something. So it was such a pivotal moment in MetaZoo for me, just because I was like, this is an environment that is going to support you as opposed to crush you just because you don't understand the game initially. So shout outs to MetaZoo Wizard again. That was such an awesome experience, and actually that's what helped me continue play the game.
Yeah, man. We really appreciate you, and shout out to you. In Orlando, this was actually our very first Collecticon where we worked for MetaZoo at the booth. So that was a really special experience. It was, I can't tell you how just grateful I was when we got the call that they wanted us, of all people, to go and work the booth. It was very humbling. I was very appreciative, and ultimately created a lot of lifelong friends and amazing memories. So if you aren't the kind of person who goes out to a bunch of conventions, I wasn't either, but I can assure you, if MetaZoo is going to be at a convention, you should go, and you will have a great time, and we will make sure you got a great time. Whether it be opening up free product at the wheel, having a big rip table where people are ripping convention packs and trading with each other, it's a truly unique experience. So hopefully in 2026, when we go do Collecticons and other conventions, you can join us there too. But one highlight of mine, me personally, was in Orlando. I got to do a learn to play with one of my first friends in MetaZoo, the new MetaZoo at least, which was Slow Brody. He came over. We met his wife. Such lovely people. We really appreciate and getting to know them. But he came over and did a learn to play. It was nothing but a blast. So shout out once again to Slow Brody there for making a great show. And this was back before we worked the entire thing from beginning to end. This is when they were like, oh, you can just work in, a couple hour shifts. And so we spent the other day just in Disney World. No, not Disney World.
We were at Universal.
Universal. My bad. We went to Harry Potter Land, which is Universal. We went there and we had an amazing time. So fun, so expensive. My God, but very fun. So that was a great way to start our journey working alongside MetaZoo at these booths.
So at the end of Orlando, we were asked if we would go to the next Collecticon that was on the circuit, which happens to be Dallas. We are Texas native based, so we had at that time already decided we were going to Dallas. So if you caught us on Dallas 1, that was our first full-time working the booth.
Yeah, and Dallas was awesome too, because that was, if you recall, we had a Flex Deck tournament there, and Flex Decks were just coming out. And if you aren't familiar, if you never bought one, we had two different types of Flex Decks, one which was Earth and Air and the other Fire and Lightning. And each of those different Flex Decks came with two unique 2-star cards that are unique just to Flex decks. They also contain a 2-player playmat and 3 packs. And so at this Flex deck tournament, we all got to open up a Flex deck of our choice. We got to incorporate the cards we got from packs. And it was really fun. And Angela competed. I competed too, but Angela actually got I
got a signed Lightning playmat that was signed by the artists that were at the Dallas One show, which was Poncho and Seb. Love them. It was amazing, as well as if you got the Hodag in the Flex decks pack, that was Sebastian's exclusive Hodag. And if you got the Lightning Ding Bell, that was Poncho's Ding Bell. So we were blessed to get those signed by the artists at that convention as well. Another fun highlight was at this specific convention, Waka got really into MetaZoo. We hung out with Waka at the table. Waka was opening packs, and he actually got a hidden Poncho Mothman.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. He's also a really nice dude. He signed a card for us, took a picture with us. So we got to meet Waka, which is such a weird thing to say, like I got to meet Waka Flocka Flame, working for MetaZoo. But we got to meet Waka. We also got to meet Gary King Pokemon, who has been a staple at the booth now, pretty much ever since. So shout out to you, Gary.
King MetaZoo.
Gary King MetaZoo, folks, not King Pokemon, King MetaZoo. Also, additionally, just shout out to him again because he's getting inducted into the Trading Card Game Hall of Fame in February in Vancouver. So if you're a Canadian, Jimmy Jones TCG, go out and support Gary there. Okay. We also got to meet Jersey Shore Devil. Shout out to you, man, if you're listening. One of the first listeners of the show, actually. We got to meet one of the community staples, Mario. You can't have a convention without Mario. So shout out to you, Mario.
You also can't have Ding Bell without Mario.
That is a fact.
Mario is Ding Bell's #1 fan.
Yep. If Mario could have a deck with just Ding Bells, that would be the thing. That would be it. Work on that, MetaZoo. Work on that for Mario. So that was Dallas. We then went to Charlotte, which was the Torrential Tides release, MetaZoo's very first expansion in the new era. A lot of people were super hyped for it. It was a great, fun set to open. It still is a great set to open. It introduced a new rarity tier in MetaZoo, which was the Legend Rares. That was the black and white sketch style cards that we got for Tides. And we got to meet some great folks. We got to meet, I think, Angela's favorite artist of all time, Kate Becker.
Kate the Great.
Fun fact, another trivia fact at your MetaZoo bars. If the question was, who is Kate Becker's unofficially official manager, the correct answer would be Meta Carpels. That would be the correct answer.
Yes. To Kate, I am Angie. To certain MetaZoo worlds, I am the CEO and owner of Angie Land. But Kate is awesome. She cosplayed as the Loveland Frogman for the launch. And let me tell you, it was really hot at that convention center. I put a fan on Kate, and she could not feel the fan, but she was dedicated to being that Loveland Frogman.
Truly one of the coolest photo ops of all time, in my opinion, was a picture with Kate as the Loveland Frogman there. Yeah, so that was great. We also at Charlotte got to meet Jimmy Jones TCG. He gave us some Canadian snacks. Shout out to you, my man. We miss you. And we had a Torrential Tides launch party that we made an entire video on, where we went around, and by we, I mean Metacarpels, my lovely wife, went around and interviewed a bunch of people who showed up to the party who were opening up Torrential Tides. and I interviewed Charlie at the very tail end of it. But she did some great interviews. If you haven't seen them, you should definitely go out and watch them on our YouTube channel.
And to highlight that, unfortunately, we didn't get in our video, but I did want to shout this out just because it was such a magical moment at the Tides launch party. Was Charlie pulled the one of the hidden cards in the Torrential Tides pack that connects with another card. And so Charlie and Rom pulled the hidden Loveland Frogman and the hidden Nessie that connects together in that artwork. And that was just so magical to see at the launch party, but to see the cards put together.
Yeah, I think it's such a good idea. Super cool where you have two cards, when you put them side by side, form like one giant picture. I think that is awesome. And that should be in like every set. I think that's super cool. But yeah, that was really neat how that worked out. It definitely was a very magical moment.
And if you were a part of that Tides launch, we also had very specific playmats that were introduced. They're very limited, and they were the Loveland Frogman playmats. There were 2 versions of them that launched specifically for Tides, and those are absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, those are amazing artworks. We actually had, when we used the light box at the booth, back when we did that, we had versions of those playmats that were like big and blown up on the light box themselves. And so it was really cool to be like, yeah, this playmat, yeah. Look up there at that giant design. That's the playmat. And that was a really cool moment. And I'm glad that, they came from card images themselves. So it was all really high quality, double stitched, super nice playmats if you ever get your hands on one. I know one of the biggest requests from consumers is to have MetaZoo do some direct-to-consumer sales where they put out different playmats and sleeves and everything that goes along with it. And I also hope that they do that in 2026. But I think inevitably when the game gets bigger, more people will create these things to make money. So we just got to stick in there and. MetaZoo did put out some great products like that, but a lot more you can look forward to in the future.
And I think specifically with the Tides playmat, it was the first step in the direction that a lot of consumers want and collectors. So that was amazing to see at the Tides launch party and the Tides Charlotte era.
Yep, and then we went to Chicago next, where we got to really know Jet on a lot better level. We actually redid an interview that we initially did back in Miami where the audio got corrupted. We did a bigger and better version in Chicago. So if you haven't seen that, Angela interviews Jet, asks her about her creative process, some of her favorite art, what she wants to do in the future if given the opportunity, and everything in between. It's a great interview. You should absolutely go check it out if you haven't already. It's that same weekend in Chicago when we also interviewed MetaZoo Maniac and her dad. Also another full-length interview. If you're not familiar with MetaZoo Maniac, where have you been? Get on YouTube and go look her up. Her and her dad and her whole family get in on the fun and go do cryptid hunts. They open up packs at midnight. They do all kinds of super fun stuff, all in the world of MetaZoo. So go definitely check them out.
Another special shout out is that we got to meet Piazza Crew. It was really amazing to meet more content creators and music creators specifically for the MetaZoo community. And it was just nice putting a name to a face. So it's really great.
Yeah, shout out to you, man. You rock. Absolutely go check him out on Instagram. Does a lot of great music that is sort of based on MetaZoo. So shout out to you, my friend. And they just released a Metal Man of Alabama song. So definitely go check that out. Then we come back to Houston number 2, the second Houston show. There we meet some really fun folks, Bree and Brandon. Old MetaZoo folks, but Bree and my wife Angela, Metacarpals, did a lot of giveaways and working the wheel And I think the most dancing that has ever been done at a MetaZoo Collecticon was done at that booth that day.
Yeah, it was amazing. I supported Brie 100% in her pursuit of a dance battle. We also had a great time pack battling with lots of casters that came by. Also got to hang out with Poncho and Seb 2.0, getting some amazing artwork done as well.
And Houston was the very first show where we brought out the Bigfoot costume, and not just any Bigfoot costume, not some raggedy Bigfoot whose head's on a stick that we hold up at a convention. Sorry, I don't mean to take shots at other Bigfoot, but they suck. Our Bigfoot, the Cryptid Nation Bigfoot, the Poncho Bigfoot, is the Bigfoot that we had at Collecticon, and it is a fully beautiful, amazing, high-quality, professional suit that you put on. It even has ice packs and ice cooling and all this stuff to keep you cold. We didn't use any of that, by the way. We just put the suit on and hoped that it wouldn't overheat too bad. But we did get to see Bigfoot for the very first time at a Collecticon. And this was something, that we only have an old zoo version of. So I know for longtime fans and for most of us at the booth, it was a blast from the past, a really fun one. And yours truly got to be in the Bigfoot costume for a while. I think on day 2 I did it. Ben, shout out to you, dude. You did it on day 1 and tried to warn me how hot and sweaty it was going to be, but I didn't listen. Oh boy, but it was a really good time. It was a blast. Would not change anything about that experience. So after that, we did DFW number 2, where we got to meet one of my good friends now, Collector. Shout out to you, man. You and I have done some pretty silly stuff. He's also Bigfoot number 3. Collector is. So he did Bigfoot as well. And Collector is the king of trades. And Collector and Metacarpals have made a bunch of great deals to help fill up our binder, our master sets that we have going on. So shout out to you, dude. Hopefully we work out another deal here real soon.
And the artists that were in Dallas too were the one and only Kate the Great, Kate Becker. As well as the return of Lily McKay.
Yay, Lily.
It was awesome hanging out with Kate and Lily. Lily got a lot of love for all the mailboxes that she's amazingly made. And it was really good because in the back of Kate and Lily's artist sign, it actually had a spoiler for their next Secret Shadows card. So behind Kate was Kate's alt Headless Horseman, which, by the way, got all of my fingerprints all over because when the sign fell, I caught it. And then behind Lily's, it was the 3-star alt Unicorn. So I just kept on pointing people over there telling the kids that she's the Unicorn lady.
Yeah, shout out to both of them again. They shout out to all the artists because they do a lot of really good work, and everyone's first signature is free, so they don't they need to get paid more is all. They need to get paid more.
I have a fun mini story though. After Dallas, we went home. We opened some booster boxes, and that was a really special weekend because that was the weekend that I specifically pulled the Kelsey Giacchino hidden Mothman for Mr. MetaZooNews.
That was a truly magical moment. That was an actual magic is real moment. I can't tell you how many beats my heart skipped. Is probably an unhealthy number. But it was like electric, like just holding it in your hand, just looking, oh my God, like, I don't know. That was amazing, a truly amazing rip.
If you are a science person, that's called tachycardia, probably.
And if you're not a science person, that just sounds like you're criticizing someone named Cardia, calling them tacky.
Okay.
But anyway.
We're moving on to Secret Shadows, baby.
Secret Shadows. So next up is Jersey. In Jersey, we get to meet a lot of great people because not only is it Secret Shadows launch, which is a massive, massive event. Secret Shadows, by far, the most successful MetaZoo set that they've put out to date. But we held our very first officially sanctioned MetaZoo tournament where prize packs were on the line. So we got to meet also two artists that MetaZoo flew in from France and Spain. That would be Pierre, who did the Sun Wukong alt art and the first base set booster box. And we got to meet Fran, who, by the way, is one of the few artists who live and breathe MetaZoo. They love playing the game. They have a bunch of decks they played all while we were there back at the Airbnb. I mean, Fran loves MetaZoo, so shout out to you, Fran.
Fran also loves Wawa.
Wawa. We cultured Fran. We got some. Fran now is a cold-blooded American man. And we definitely took him to see the sights, and Angela got to take him to see America's #1 gas station.
Also, official but unofficially there was also Kate the Great there as an artist, but also as a competitor.
That's right. And along with Kate, we got to see people in the tournament, such as TMX. We love TMX, by the way. TMX is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life. And if you need proof of that, you should go jump in Collector's MetaZoo streams, because TMX is there. He's loud, he's proud, and he just won some crazy stuff in Collector's last Whatnot stream.
We also did an interview with TMX as well that you can locate on his YouTube channel.
That is true. That was a great little interview. It was interesting to be on the reverse side where people were interviewing us for the first time. So that was cool. We also got to meet, of course, Bunnyman, who ended up winning. Cam, Rami, just a bunch of people that came and did the tournament. And thank you so much for making that tournament a huge success. And speaking of tournaments, MetaZoo put out, or did, two different tournaments. And again, that first tournament was at Jersey, where prize packs were on the line. Bunnyman, for example, won 15 prize packs and an alt art booster box. Second place, I believe, was Rami. Third place, Kate. Fourth place, Cam. And all of them won some prize packs and booster boxes as well. And then we had the Christmas Fourth Wall tournament, where fourth wall effects were introduced again for the first time in a very limited way. I don't know if I would go out of my way to call them fourth wall effects, but regardless, they were about the holidays and about the setting, so that definitionally, I suppose, is fourth wall stuff. And then the winner of that tournament was Ben MetaZoo, my man, Ben. He ineligible to get the prizing, so I believe the prizing went to Collector, but Ben won that one, and a special shout out to fourth place, which really, fourth place is the new first place, if you ask me, and if you ask the one, the only, Dylan. Dylan, shout out to you, Dylan, always there at the booth, making sure everything goes down right and that everyone has a great experience at the MetaZoo booth. He went out, he played competitively for the first time in MetaZoo and did an amazing job with, I think, Mira, Oz, however you want to say her name. Great caster, great dude. So shout out to you there. And if you were curious, at this Christmas event, the event rules were each round prior to the draw phase, the caster with priority reveals the top card of the event deck. Each event card has an effect that will either activate and resolve upon reveal or persist throughout the round. At the end of each round, the revealed event deck card is placed face down next to the event deck. If casters make it through the entire event deck, the face-down cards are shuffled and returned to the game. And so you had cards, different event cards that were sort of themed like naughty and nice. So for example, you have an event card called the Naughty List. It says, on reveal, each player puts the top 5 cards of their deck into their discard pile. Or something like Holiday Cheer, which is a present. It says, on reveal, each player may give a unit +5 influence. And it'll have different cards like that. Some of them have abilities that each player can use, but the idea behind that being that it's a fourth wall effect in and of itself because there's a different non-rules-based, non-normalized effect that's in play because of the setting that you're in when you're doing the tournament.
And the artwork for the cards are really cool. Lily McKay killed it once again, creating all this beautiful art for this specific event to be released.
And if you log on to the MetaZoo Discord, you can print all of them out to play at home or whenever you want to. So they're all free to print and use. You obviously just cannot go out and sell them, but free to print and play. So that is a nice, fun idea, trying to bring back fourth wall effects in a limited way that isn't ridiculous, where you're not walking into a tournament and everyone has a small potted plant or something like that. So those were the two main tournaments that MetaZoo was affiliated with. So shout out to everyone who entered and played in those, and I'm really looking forward to, personally, I know a lot of you are too, to have some actual organized play OP tournaments, LGS support, everything that comes with a growing TCG in 2026. So I look forward personally to ripping some prize packs, earning them, and playing competitively whenever we get full national support on that. We ended up going to 2 other Collecticons, which was San Antonio and Los Angeles.
Now, San Antonio was concurrent to the MetaZoo Christmas party, so MetaZoo News held it down at the booth. Awesome time hanging out with Seb. We also witnessed in the making 2 casters that came in, didn't know how to play, didn't understand, but loved the idea of cryptids and immediately got hooked. They hung out with us pretty much the whole time at the booth, and it was amazing to see them progress from base set all the way through Shadows. We forgot to mention this in Jersey's recap, but Kate did a killer playmat for Secret Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
If you could list all of the, I think it's either 11 or 13 different cryptids that she did for Shadows on there, it is a hand-painted, beautiful piece of art that Kate did uniquely for Secret Shadows. We ended up the year at the very last convention, which is Los Angeles. It was lovely to meet Black Market, MetaZoo Black Market.
Shout out to you, man.
Shout out.
We appreciate those playmats so much. They're so awesome. Thank you so much.
Exclusive playmat. It was awesome. We also got to hang out with Mario and a couple other friends that came by at the very last 2025 Collecticon. It was amazing to end our year working the booth at the very last Collecticon. It was quite a full circle moment. And if you are able to get your hands on it, or if you have seen the exclusive Christmas Loveland Frogman promo, it is a piece of art. So Lily, once again, knocked it out of the park.
And they really did save the best promo for last, because it's not a mailbox card like all the other promos are. It's a real playable alt art Loveland Frogman card, and it is sick. I know they're really expensive online, but I would definitely grab one if you are a collector, for sure. It's such a beautiful card, a very low print run. We only handed out, gosh, I don't even think 100 we handed out. So a very rare card, but one beautiful piece of MetaZoo history. It was just so nice to finally see a card that wasn't a mailbox to be like a big hype promo, and that's exactly what it was. So definitely check that out if you haven't already online. So MetaZoo made a lot of big strides in 2025. From launching in March, they have released 3 full sets, with more in development for 2026. They've released a bunch of different products, things from booster boxes to convention packs, to flex decks, to alpha demo decks. They got a magazine. The only thing that we're waiting on right now really are dynamic decks, which I think is such a fun idea. If you don't recall, dynamic decks are going to be a product in which the cards themselves are random inside of the deck. No 2 decks are going to be exactly the same. I think it's such a fun idea. It sort of gets out of the standardized model of like a flex deck while still providing full playability for someone who wants to jump in the game. So I think that's such a good idea. So looking forward to dynamic decks in 2026. But one product that they released right at the tail end, which I think is my favorite of them all, are the blister packs that are now in Walmart across the nation. And those blister packs have 4 unique different 2-star super rare promos in there, which are Sun Wukong, the Frogman, the Kraken, and the Moth, all by Dao Li. Dao Li did an amazing job on all of the art for those promos. It comes with 2 different packs, one of Tides, one of base set, and it's just such a good looking product. We found them. We had to go looking for a while, but they just launched. So if you don't see them in your local Walmart quite yet, don't worry, they'll get there. But we had to go around the greater Houston area to find them, and we finally found them. We bought a bunch, and we have been having a blast ripping them. We've already gotten alt arts and a bunch of 2-stars out of them. So if you're worried that you can't pull a textured card, worry not. You absolutely can. I've even seen people pull, or talk at least, I haven't physically seen them, but talk about pulling hiddens from this too. So definitely a product worth getting your hands on. And it's just such a fun time to be a caster, because now MetaZoo is in front of millions of new eyes every single day that it is in a Walmart in that trading card game aisle. So we have a lot of growth to look forward to as MetaZoo fans and casters. And my wish list for 2026, the only thing on my wish list is to bring back Sam Sinclair. No offense to the other casters that we have in the game. They're all cool. They all have their little niche. I think a Sam Sinclair caster would be just the ultimate sickness. It seems like such an easy layup. Hopefully that happens in 2026. That's on my wish list for MetaZoo for 2026. To end the show off, I just wanted to do a couple things. The first of which is to give you a little taste of what we have planned in 2026 for MetaZoo News. If you've made it this far in the podcast already, thank you, first and foremost. But if you are interested not only in being an opinion piece writer, which we were happy to get as many as we can, but if you are someone who wants to report the news, not necessarily opinion pieces, but news pieces for MetaZoo News, please reach out to either one of us, meta.shab or meta.carpels on Instagram, or metazoo.news on Instagram, and let us know that you are interested in covering things like MetaZoo Mondays, for example. I will go over my formula about how I like to take notes and break things up in different articles. We'll go over that kind of stuff. But if you're interested in news reporting, please get in contact with us because we would love to grow the team. That's our number one goal in 2026 is to get more casters out there on the front lines of MetaZoo News.
And if you are a caster that wants to report any local news that we maybe not be aware about, this would be a great chance because our goal is to get the word out about MetaZoo. So if there's any tournaments going on or there's any local events going on that you think we should cover, reach out, let us know as well.
Yep. Take some pictures if you're going to them. We would love to have a MetaZoo News correspondent on the scene. If you want to do that for us. So we thank you, all of you, for your support throughout our first year in existence as we come up on 1 year. We do have the server donation fund that resets every month. We are so blessed this month specifically because this month we have 51 donors. 51 of you have donated to keep to pay our server costs this month, and I don't even know what to say. That we have 51 readers who donated to us. We have thousands of unique visits on our website every month, but to have 51 of you reach out and donate, from the bottom of my heart, I truly, truly thank you and am humbled for your generosity.
Yeah, it's very wonderful for the community to come together to help us stay online. It really does keep us alive because all of this is done from our pockets. The website, like we've already said, has our card database, our deck builder, but I know a lot of people reach it for our resources to see which official MetaZoo retailers are out there, and how others have put their decks together, and which card belongs to which set. Not all of us, or if there's multiple cards, multiple snipes, you want to know which one goes in which deck. I know that a lot of people reach our website, so it is amazing. We are so blessed that every dollar that you do donate goes towards keeping the website up and to keep our coverage for the community alive.
Yeah, and our costs each month are about $50 to pay the server costs, and this month y'all donated over $65, and again, thank you so much for helping keep the website alive. Some new features, innovations for 2026 that I hope to implement is going to be a better collection tracker. So what I have envisioned is a more visual-based collection tracker, master set tracker. What I had envisioned is you will select what cards that you have available in your collection. It could be part of your master set collection or whatever. And then you can import that from your profile into the deck builder, and you can build a deck with exactly the cards that you have on hand. So there's no guesswork or looking, for 15, 20 minutes to find that one card. If you know you have it, you can put it in your profile and you can build a deck with it. Along with more contributors and better master set tracking are things that are like right on the horizon for us. And I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of new features on MetaZooNews.com in the future in 2026 as well. But that about rounds up our year here with you, the listeners and readers of MetaZoo News. So I just want to say one last time, thank you so much for all of your support. Whether you're a day one person, one of the 19 people that liked our very first post on Instagram, or you're one of the hundreds of people that have liked our reveals or spoilers or our reels from the different conventions. Shout out to you for helping keep MetaZoo and MetaZoo News alive and keeping the magic pumping. And without you, we truly could not say that magic is real and real magic is everywhere. Thank you, casters. And we will see you in 2026.
We wish everyone a lovely and safe Happy New Year's and hope to see all of you casters in 2026.
Sayonara, casters. Until next time.